All right, what we've got here is we're going to do a recap over Module 5, measuring with the micrometer. That's just the 0 to 1. We've got 100 thousandths place, we have 10 thousandths place, we have 1 thousandths place. This micrometer goes all the way to the 10 thousandths position, but we're not going to cover that in this class. We're just going to cover all the way 3 place decimals out. That's the 100 thousandths, 10 thousandths, and the 1 thousandths categories. So we're going to take our sample part. We are supporting our micrometer. Make sure that our micrometer is unlocked. We'll go ahead and bring this thing down. We're not going to clamp down on it. It's not a C-clamp, it's a micrometer. So when we bring that in there, we make sure that our part is centered. We're going to use our ratchet, and then we're going to come in and we are going to lock this down, remove our part, make sure that we're nice, locked tight, not too tight, and we're going to come in and take our measurement on our part. And so as you can see there, we actually haven't come past the 500 thousandths mark on there. So I can see 400 thousandths, 425, 450, 425, and even though I can just barely start to see the line for the 5, I can't see the full line of 5. That means I haven't come up to it yet. So as I count down, so I have 475, and I'm going to count up almost 24 thousandths more. So that means that my dimension for that is 0.499. That's 499 thousandths. Just short, 1 thousandth short of 500 thousandths. For my next reading, I will loosen the micrometer lock, move up to my next diameter. Now as I come in, I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm supporting my micrometer. Come in, I'm going to take my measurement, use my ratchet, come in and lock it down. Take my piece out, set it aside, take my measurement. So here I've got, and again, let's just go back through all of these components of the micrometer. We've got 0, we've got 25 thousandths, that would be 0.025, 50 thousandths, that's 0.05, 75 thousandths, that's 0.075, and then 100 thousandths. And it's broken down into quarters all the way through. So we have 100, 200, 300, 400 thousandths, 500 thousandths, 600 thousandths. Now I can see, and I'm at 0 on this next one, so that means I'm at 625 thousandths of an inch. So that means that my next dimension is 0.625. All right. So the fraction for that would be 5/8 of an inch, and that is 625. Okay. Let's do one more dimension on the back side. Again, supporting my micrometer. Bring it out. Come down. Lock it down. Pull it out. I'm now at 700, 725, 750 thousandths, and then I go up on this one. Every one of these lines is 1 thousandths, every one of these long lines. Every one of the short lines would be 5/10 thousandths. That's the 4th place decimal that we're not going to concern ourselves with today. So this one really falls between 750 and 751. So we're going to go ahead and round it up to 751 for that diameter. 0.751. That means on this particular part, all dimensions are in tolerance. Next time we'll be covering the 10th scale here, but for today we're just talking about 3 places out. All right, so that's just a quick recap of using and reading the micrometer. Remember, we've got a ratchet here. We want to make sure that our measuring faces are laying nice and flat up against our part. If it's a square part, that's pretty easy to do. We can lay out a part like this. We have a piece, come in and measure it. Make sure we're unlocked. Come down, make sure we have nice flat faces on there. Pull it off of it. This one, just under 750 thousandths, so I'm 725. If I was at 0, I would be 750 on it. I'm not quite there yet. I'm 749 and about 5/10 thousandths of an inch. I could round it up to 750 for this one. That works pretty good because this is just 3/4 stock that we're working with. We want to make sure that we're using our lock, but we're not tight with it. Everything on this thing we want to be pretty gentle with. This does have hardened faces, but we don't want to abuse them. We want to make sure that everything's nice and flat. We always want to make sure that they're clean. And then before we even begin taking measurements, we want to just bring this thing all the way down to 0. And make sure that it zeroes out. See how the lines line up on 0. Okay. So most of our time that we spend in the shop, that's measuring on the lathe for our first 8 weeks, we're going to be using the micrometer to take our measurements with. Take your time, make sure that you get the right dimension. You can always go back and double check it if you start to get confused with the dial calipers. All right, that's it for Module 5.